You open your eyes to the sound of bronze shields crashing in the middle of the marathon plain. In front of you, the vast assembly stretches out across the land. Behind your back, Athens lies far beyond the dry, burning hills.
If this shield line breaks, your family will have nowhere left to run.
Wind from the bay blows through your bronze helmet, carrying the smell of salt and dust. You hear enemy archers drawing their bowstrings, steady as the sound of fate.
Your hand trembles beyond, but it still grips the wooden spear shaft tightly.
Grant us strength, O Zeus! Guide our spears, Poseidon! Give us courage, Ares!
No one in the line knows whether they will still be alive after this morning. Far away, Persian ships wait, like the teeth of the sea. They came to punish Athens for daring to resist the power of an empire. Move forward, brothers! Ready your spears!
They believe a small city-state cannot stop the king of Asia.
But you are standing here, in the dust and choking fear. Advance, sons of Hellas! For glory! For glory! Glory!
Not walking, not retreating, but rushing straight forward. A rain of arrows is waiting for you, and the distance ahead feels as long as death. Why would the Athenians dare to run into a place where survival seemed almost impossible?
What turned this silent plain into a breaking point in history?
Before the first line of spears reaches the enemy, subscribe quickly and stay inside the battlefield.
Now, step into the brutal reality of the Battle of Marathon.
You turn back from the sound of the charge, returning to Athens before the day of destiny. The city appears under the dry sun, with white stone and low rooftops. Then, an army stands ready.
In the square, people gather around, rumors coming from the Aegean Sea.
The news is dire! Eretria has fallen! The Persian army is upon us!
Oh no! Not Eretria! It cannot be!
I saw it myself! They're here!
The crowd falls silent, as if Athens itself has heard the sound of a city gate breaking. You see mothers pulling their children close, their eyes fixed toward the harbor.
Where is he? Is he coming back?
The harbor road awaits. Young men inspect round shields, long spears, and old bronze helmets. The air does not feel like preparation for glory, but like waiting for a sentence.
Persia is not coming for random plunder or a small raid.
The alliance of the past shapes the events of today. From across the sea, the great king has remembered that insult.
To him, a small city-state daring to interfere was something that could not be forgiven. You pass a forge where hammers strike bronze like the heartbeat of the city. Armor plates are patched, and leather straps are tied by trembling hands. No one says it loudly, but everyone understands that Eretria is a living warning. If Athens fails, homes, temples, and families may all be lost.
The city's young democracy is also facing a trial by fire.
In the shadow of stone columns, citizens argue fiercely about how to survive. Some fear the Persian army, while others fear traitors inside the city. Names of pro-Persian men are whispered, then disappear into the wind. You feel that war is not only coming from the sea, but from inside people's hearts.
The elders look toward the marathon plain with heavy faces.
That place is wide, flat, close to the coast, and large enough for the enemy to land.
The Persians have ships, archers, cavalry, and a reputation for being unbeatable. Athens has citizens with spears, trained to stand close together in the Phalanx. You enter the training yard, where hoplites practice keeping shields over the left shoulder. Each man protects himself, but he must also protect the man beside him.
Keep your shields tight. Hold the line. If one man panics, the entire bronze wall will crack.
A message is sent to Sparta, hoping its famous warriors will come to help. But ritual and time keep Sparta from appearing at once. While waiting, Athens has no right to stand still and trust in luck. Then you see the Plataeans arrive, fewer in number, but determined.
They are not a great empire, but they choose to stand beside Athens at its most dangerous hour. Their arrival makes the army fall silent, and then the shouts rise.
Keep your strength up.
May the gods guide you home.
For Athens.
You see a young boy touch his father's shield without crying.
The father bends down, but he does not promise he will return after the battle. The army leaves Athens as dust rises behind every heavy step. The bronze helmet heats beneath the sun, and the armor pulls painfully on your shoulders. The road to Marathon is not long on a map, but it feels long inside fear. Every hill you cross makes the sea appear closer before your eyes.
When you reach the high ground, you look down and see enemy masts.
The Persian fleet lies in the bay, thick as a forest standing on water.
The enemy camp spreads near the shore, with banners, tents, and pale cooking smoke.
You hear strange voices from far away, mixed with horses and metal.
The Persian warriors wear lighter armor, carrying bows and smaller shields.
They do not need to look terrifying, because their numbers alone create pressure. The Athenian commanders choose a position on higher ground to block the enemy advance. From here, you see mountains on one side and the cold sea on the other. The Marathon plain becomes a trap, but no one yet knows who will be trapped. At night, the Athenian fires burn low, as if trying to hide their fear.
The olives. They'll be ripe by now. I can almost taste the oil on my bread. Home feels far tonight.
No one wants to die here, but no one wants to see Athens kneel. In the darkness, you imagine Persian troops marching through the gates of your home. That image turns the fear in your chest into something harder. The next morning, the army is called up before the sun climbs high. You put on the bronze helmet, and the world narrows to your breath and a small slit of sight. Ahead, the Persian army already stands in formation on the bright, dusty plain.
Behind you, Athens is unseen, but its legacy inspires your resolve.
And you understand that this battle began before the first spear ever touched the enemy.
You stand in the Phalanx, hearing your own breath echo inside the bronze helmet.
Sunlight crawls across the shield's edge, making old scratches shine. Ahead, the Persian army has formed near the low ground by the sea. Their archers stand in layers, hands already resting on their bowstrings.
Farther back, you see light infantry and groups of men speaking strange languages.
Behind them, the fleet still lies in the bay, like a giant escape route.
Keep your shields locked tight, men. Focus! They are close.
Every argument in the council has ended before this moment.
Now, only dust, bronze shields, and a deadly distance remain.
Miltiades. Miltiades, you say? Yes. He is here.
He knows that if they wait too long, Athens will drain away its own courage. The formation begins to change, and you feel the line shifting around you.
The two wings grow thicker, shields pressing against shields, spears pointing outward. The center grows visibly thinner, and the men standing there look at each other heavily. No one needs an explanation, because everyone understands that place will take the pressure.
You see a young man swallow hard when he realizes he belongs to the center line.
But he does not leave his place, he only pulls the shield strap tighter. This strategy feels like a gamble paid for with the life of the entire city. If the center breaks too early, even the strong wings will mean nothing.
Forward, Athenians! For the glory of Greece!
The whole line bends forward, shields high, spears aimed at the human sea ahead.
You expect to move slowly, keeping rhythm, like the training days in Athens. But the next order makes every muscle in you ignite at once. The hoplites begin to run, not away, but straight into a rain of arrows. The ground shakes beneath leather sandals, and dust rises around your ankles.
The heavy shield drags your shoulder down, but the men still press tightly together. Through the narrow slit of your helmet, the Persians grow larger with every breath. Then the sky ahead darkens, with arrows flying toward you. The arrows hiss through the air like a giant swarm of metal bees.
One arrow slams into your shield, making your whole arm go numb.
The companion beside you is supported to maintain the unified line. No one can stop, because stopping means dying in the open space.
You lower your head behind the shield and keep running across the cracked, dry earth.
Advance, brothers, to glory! Forward! Push them back! Drive them into the sea!
The final distance is closed by a profound sense of shared courage.
Then two walls of men collide, with a sound that does not feel human. Shields crash into shields, spears break, and sand rises with the screams of chaos. You are forced forward, your chest striking the edge of your own shield.
Push! Hold formation! Shield wall tight! Retreat! Fall back! Watch the flanks! Forward! To the sea! Hold the line! Spears! Loose arrows! Back!
But the hoplite line is too heavy, too tight, and too determined in the collision.
On both wings, you hear Greek voices growing stronger with every moment.
Nike! Nike! Heos! Alalai!
The Plataeans on one wing push forward, shoulder to shoulder with Athens.
On the other side, Athenian hoplites grind into the enemy flank with great shields.
But in the center, the danger grows worse with every moment. The opposing formation engages firmly with the center of the line. You see the Athenian center retreating, not fleeing, but being pushed backward. The dust becomes so thick that you no longer know where the sun is. We fight blind, relying only on the touch of our shields.
Hold the line! Steady! By the gods, the gap! Close ranks! Faster! A cry spreads through the line as a gap opens before your eyes.
No! Fall back!
In that moment, you think the entire gamble has failed. Then, from both sides, triumphant cheers suddenly cut through the commotion.
The two Greek wings have broken their opponents, and now begin to turn inward. Through the dust, you see the Persians on the flank beginning to lose order. The men who were shooting arrows now turn and search for a way back to the sea. The Athenian center is still pressed, but two jaws of shields are closing around the enemy. The fear in your eyes turns into a cold understanding of the trap.
Miltiades let the center take the blow so the wings could swallow the battlefield. Broken wood, clashing bronze, and voices calling to one another become a storm.
You no longer see just a battle. You see an empire beginning to shake. And on the Marathon plain, the impossible is happening before your eyes. The two Greek wings turn toward the center, like bronze doors closing.
Keep the line! Advance! Push forward!
Ahead, Persian warriors begin to realize that their path of retreat is disappearing. Strange cries and Greek shouts crash together inside the thick yellow dust. There is no longer any beautiful formation, only groups of men trying to survive. You see archers throwing down their arrows and running toward the shore.
Fall back! Retreat! Stand and fight! Form ranks! We're outnumbered! Run! No, don't leave!
The hoplite line keeps pushing forward, slower, heavier, but never stopping. Every step feels like another nail driven into the Persian war machine. The Athenian center, pushed back moments earlier, suddenly stands firm again.
The men who were almost crushed understand they have held long enough.
You hear their breathing, rough as if they have returned from the edge of an abyss. No one thinks of honor now, only of the empty space needed to escape. The Persians lose order, and then the human current begins flowing back toward the ships. You rush after them, but your legs feel as if stones have been tied to them. The ground under your feet is covered with fallen shields, broken spears, and abandoned sandals.
Advance to the ships! Get to the boats! The Greeks are upon us! Push them back! Do not let them escape! Row, row, faster!
The ships in the bay suddenly become their final hope.
But to reach them, they must cross sand, reeds, and muddy ground.
Some groups become trapped near the wet ground, desperately searching for another way around. You see comrades pulling one another through the difficult ground, still trying to keep formation. The strength of Athens now is not speed, but will. They know that if the fleet escapes intact, Athens is still in danger.
Fall in, hoplites! Forward to the ships! Seize their retreat! Block the path! Do not let them escape!
You reach the edge of the water, where shipwood knocks dryly against the waves.
Pull! Push! Into the water! Move! Move!
Athenian hoplites grab the sides of the ships, shields striking wood, spears lifting high.
A few ships are held in the chaos and the shouting.
But many others still escape to the sea, carrying the shame of defeat.
When the fighting grows thin, you finally hear your own heart beating clearly. The Marathon plain is no longer an ordinary field under the sun.
It has become a place where thousands of lives lie in silence.
Philippos! Over here! We're still missing Leonidas. Check near the hill, the others went that way. Does anyone see Nicias?
According to ancient tradition, the Persians lost about 6,400 men.
Athens lost 192 citizens on that plain. The Plataeans also leave behind warriors who stood beside Athens. The numbers sound cold, but before your eyes are familiar shields. A soldier kneels beside his comrade and places a hand on a cracked bronze helmet.
No one celebrates for long, because this victory is still not safe. Offshore, the Persian fleet has not disappeared from the horizon.
The commanders understand that the fleet could sail around and strike Athens directly. We must intercept them. Move, now! The joy that just appeared is immediately replaced by a new, brutal order.
Rally! Shields up! Back to formation now!
To the coast, quickly! The ships are here!
You must leave Marathon at once, even with aching legs and numb shoulders.
There is no time for full burial, and no time to tell the story of victory. The army gathers again in exhaustion, dust covering every face and every piece of armor.
You look back at the plain, where the fallen still remain behind you.
Then you walk on, because the city's life or death lies ahead. The march back to Athens feels like a second battle against your own body.
Every slope makes your knees shake, and every breath scrapes your chest. But no one wants the Persian fleet to find the city gates empty. When Athens appears, you see the people still waiting in suffocating fear.
The soldiers do not need to tell everything. They only need to stand before the city.
Out near Phalanx, Persian ships appear like dark shadows on the water. They see the hoplites who fought at Marathon, already back in time.
That moment drains the final strength from the plan to surprise Athens.
The fleet does not land, does not advance, and finally turns away from Greece. You stand silent, unsure whether you are living inside victory or exhaustion.
Marathon has ended, but the fear of Persia has not disappeared.
What remains is a city that survived, and a legend that has just been born. The Battle of Marathon began with the anger of the Persian Empire toward Athens. Athens once helped the Ionian revolt, and the Persian king could not ignore it.
For Persia, this was a punishment meant to crush resistance.
For Athens, this was a battle to keep the city from suffering the fate of Eretria. The deeper cause was a clash between empire and the independence of the city-states. One side wanted to expand its power, while the other fought to protect its freedom. On the plain of Marathon, that difference became a moment of life and death. The Athenians did not win because they were more numerous, but because they were organized and determined.
They used the Phalanx, strong wings, and a daring charge.
The thin center took the pressure so the two wings could close the trap. When the Persians fell into disorder, the battlefield changed faster than they expected. This victory shattered the belief that Persia could not be defeated. It helped Athens believe more deeply in its citizens, its army, and its young democracy. But Marathon was not the end of the Greco-Persian Wars.
It was only a warning that the empire would return even stronger.
Years later, another Persian king would launch a much greater invasion of Greece.
So Marathon was both a victory and the prelude to a coming storm.
World history changed because Athens survived and moved toward a brilliant age. From that plain, the memory of freedom and resistance spread across centuries. The brutal truth of Marathon is that freedom can sometimes be preserved in only a few hours.